going on in our Nerds Rule the World? We're back with another review recap for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5. Man, oh man. I'm so excited to go over this episode. I'm joined once again by my boy Kuya P in the house. What's up, Kuya?
What up? Good to see y'all, man. Y'all get me excited every week. I see y'all.
Mike. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just so hyped. I'm hyped.
No worries.
I'm trying to bring everybody in.
I'm psyched to see y'all. That's all I was saying. It's always good, man, to see y'all since we can't meet in person right now. It's good to see y'all when we can. So
yes, sir. And
good times.
Speaking of y'all, our peeps, my man Mike from Top Back Podcast. What it do?
What's up? 50% Top Back Podcast representing for my brother Matt. I couldn't be here today, but I know he's juice, man.
Man, are y'all sure y'all not the same person? We never see y'all in the same spot at the same time.
You know
what I
mean? No. If y'all saw us next to each other, you know damn well he's like 6 inches taller than me. So it's
right. Nah, but it's good to get the crew back together again.
And hold up, shout out to OG Moose. He wanted to be here.
I was just about to say.
Okay, my bad. Because we miss you too, Moose.
Yeah, right. He ain't there, but look, I feel like we're all like geeked right now to like just jump in and start talking about episode 5, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I believe this one was called was it called Truth? What was it?
Yeah, the Truth.
It was called The Truth, man. Yeah. And this episode was great. I mean, once the season started, and even from the end of Endgame, my mind went to, oh my goodness, are we getting a Black Captain America, right? Like that's all I've been thinking. And this episode, it goes through kind of that lineage, and it sets us up for what I've been wanting to see since Endgame, since Steve passed the shield to Sam. And there was a lot. There's a lot to get to get into with this episode. So we'll just take it from the top, man. How about this? We'll just start off. What were y'all initial thoughts? I'm telling y'all how blown away I was. What was your initial thoughts? Go ahead, Mike. Lead us off.
Yeah, this is an emotional roller coaster. Like seeing how last week ended with like, oh shit, you just killed somebody. Like, and now like the title Truth. It's a perfect title because there's so many consequences of the two ways you can go with the truth. You can either like continue being authentic to who you are and owning that piece, or you can continue going down this path of like not being truthful, and then how that messes you up. So like those two dynamics, and then a big thing, Glenn, you touched on it about like the Black Captain America. We get more truth to that story and how that legacy. Like, should it continue? It's a tarnished legacy. What is it now? And what is it in the future? So I think this episode, like, blew my mind with rewatching it.
Kuya P, what were your initial thoughts on the episode?
My initial thoughts, initial thoughts on the episode or leading into it?
Just both, like your initial thoughts leading into it, and then with just kind of your,
okay.
So like I loved it or whatever.
I feel you. I just because to me it's too different for this one because of just how amazing it was. My coming off of last week's episode, I'm like, as we all were blown away. How the fuck do you come after we see Captain America kill a man? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was game changing. And what it said and what it spoke of and I think in comparisons to the real world with what we're experiencing and how America is to every other country, it was amazing. So I was like, how are we going to go into this episode? Is he going to face these consequences? And will they actually go there and talk on stuff like this? And so initial thoughts after seeing this episode was like, they fucking did it. I fucking love Marvel. This is why I love Marvel. This is why DC has a very large shoe to fill. You know what I'm saying? They just gotta let things marinate, let things build, and then you can get this payoff. To me, they've it just again how they've rushed it by comparison in regards to what Marvel does. Slow build get to the great payoff, and so I loved it. Great, and I can't wait to dig into it more. But yeah, will they make this man suffer for his consequences? Will they build this out from what we know? And they fucking did it, man. They're killing it, killing the game.
Yeah, man. So the episode is called Truth, and it starts off with John Walker confronting the truth about what he did. He like he murks that dude, and then apparently just runs off, and we find him like running off and going to the warehouse. And I thought it was kind of interesting how he had the like moments of remorse or whatever. So I like, for me, I know he's supposed to be, he's a bad, and people are like, I don't rock with them, and I don't either. But to see him like kind of have that human side, and I feel like we probably have seen that too in like, our media when things happen with like a cop doing something or killing an unarmed black man. Like there are some instances, and what comes to mind is Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you guys remember that, where they had the Officer Bailey who accidentally killed Pusey or whatever, and then he's like feeling all bad for it or whatever. Like, there's sometimes when it's just egregious, and there's sometimes when the dude just wasn't prepared to be an officer and wasn't prepared to take up the mantle that he took, and then ends up killing somebody. And I feel like we get that sense here where he's like kind of hunkered over the shield. He's crying or whatever, or not crying, but he's like, sad. He's thinking about what he did. Like he's replaying all the fight in his head or whatever. It's just like, it's kind of humanizing him. Now I know I don't rock with them. Y'all don't rock with them or whatever, but it is kind of humanizing the fact that he has remorse, that he just lost it in that moment. But then you see him like shake it off. What y'all think of the opening scene and John Walker's remorse? Kuya, what did you think about John Walker's remorse in that warehouse?
I see you to that point. Although as soon as the fight gets going, and then he almost tries to kill Falcon the same way, right. I'm like, nah, bruh. But I think that's like, we got to separate that, the fight scene, and then the remorse prior to that. So like, I hear your point to the part prior to the fight scene. Like, okay, he understood what he just did, but at the same time, yeah, I can't rock with the guy, because then as soon as like, bruh, Falcons give me the shield, he's like, oh, really? So it's just all about the shield, and then we get into this amazing fight scene. Yeah. But I see what you're saying. I like that they gave some humanity there. After what we saw, that he was considering his mistakes, because it should be we should all feel that after you murk somebody like that. Yeah. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, but I mean, then we have it's like we go through that. He has that little remorse, and then you see him almost like shake it off, and then, like you said, the fight happens, and it's almost back to like business as usual. Like, I'm going to kill another one. You know what I'm saying? Mike, take us through, like, what did you think seeing that scene? Like, did you have the same feeling of like seeing the remorse and then seeing him just shake it off and go right back to trying to kill again?
Yeah, I like how we're trying to like separate those two moments, because the Wyatt Russell, who's acting as John Walker, I think he does a great job. Like every time the camera goes up close and his emotions just like spill it out, and then he's having these visions of what he just did, but also hearing Lamar's voice, like his last voice of reason, and he's tripping because he's losing his sanity now. He's so consumed about like revenge and losing his friend, all these emotions, and like you said, Glenn, like when he sees that Falcon and Bucky just walked in, he was like, all right, back to work, and time to go to work. And that's what his boy kept saying, like, let's go to work. And it was a 2-on-1 situation, and it goes back to like Civil War parallels again with Bucky and Falcon versus Cap. And back then it was Bucky and Cap versus Iron Man. So I thought that was like, the fight scene was sick too, man. Like, yeah. And I can't believe this was just the opening scene, and it, like how they approached him felt like when like Endgame, when they were approaching Thanos, the big three versus Thanos, and he's just like, all right, let's go. Let's go at it. You want this shield? You're going to have to fucking rip it off of me.
Yeah. Yo, the thing that I love is the choreography is always so on point, you know, and the fight is just so great. You get to see Falcon using his wings in like ways that you know are kind of like unexpected and unique to like his fight style, and everybody has like a different fight style. That's what's so kind of cool about it, you know, and getting to see like all that come together. Seeing John Walker just kind of like Hulk out, you know, even to the point of like, I am Captain. It's like, okay,
every time.
Like, you're really feeling yourself, you know what I'm saying? And seeing them go through it. There's one moment like right before they started fighting. I feel like I've heard that quote before where like where he's like, you guys don't want to do this, and he was like, yeah, we do. Did Captain America say that to somebody else one time?
It did seem familiar.
Way,
yeah.
Who
I'd have to. Yeah. But actually, before we go further with the fight, though, also since I'm the comic book nerd, that when he was down kneeling with the shield before, you know, the Falcon and Winter Soldier came in, that was like a still from a comic book, and I'm trying to find it for you guys right now.
Word.
So they took like a classic Captain America comic image and kind of did that with the iconography of the shot back and down. I thought that was amazing. I was like, oh, I remember that from a comic. And so I'm trying to find it for you guys right now. But yeah, just I love those little touches and those little nods that Chill loves to the fans of the comics and shit.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, even right before they started fighting, they didn't just go into fighting. Sam was still trying to like counsel him.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, like if you admit to what happened and talked about it, like they could probably just give you a slap on the wrist. He admitted that. Like there's certain elements of privilege of where Walker's coming from. Like if you just explain. But he's like, nah, I'm fucking Captain America. How many times has he said it this episode?
How many times I got to tell you? I don't care. I'm definitely Cap. Yeah, you're right. And that is kind of like a iconic image, just seeing him like kneel over the shield. And I feel like there's so much to be said for that symbology there of like trying to do the right thing, getting caught up in rage and knowing you're wrong, and then having that remorse, but then not showing it when you're actually confronted with the truth of what you've done. You know, it's like, nah, nope, I'm me. Like, let's go. You know, we're a team. And he's almost thinking about it like, yeah, we're a team. Like, y'all are on board. Like, even to the point where he's like, y'all look like y'all need to get yourselves cleaned up. You know what I mean? Like, that, I thought that was kind of crazy too. Where he's just like, y'all look like y'all are fucked up. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I'm good.
He was like, we could have been a team.
Yeah, man. I mean, and they could have been a team, but unfortunately, nah. And they come there and they're like, nah, man, this is like, it's too far. We gotta take that shield. And it was kind of interesting though, because you know Sam is trying to counsel him, and then Bucky's just like, nah, we about to wreck you. Like he's like, you guys don't want to do this. Like, nah, we do, we definitely do. And I think at that point it's like we got to take the shield, like we got to take the shield back. Like Bucky, for his own reasons, he needs that shield, not to be with John Walker. And then Sam is just trying to do what's right, and he doesn't think it belongs to him or whatever. But it all amounts to like, yeah, we both know that you gotta give this up. And then they get into it. So I mean, what did y'all think about the fight choreography? Because I feel like we talked a little bit about leading up to the fight. What did y'all think about the fight itself? Like the blows were hitting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Walker was not holding back. He was trying to wreck Bucky. I could have sworn so many times, like
he was trying to kill him.
He could have been decapitated so many times, but Bucky luckily like caught it. And then I saw somewhere that the scene that when they were fighting him was like very similar to how Cap fought Bucky in Winter Soldier. So I gotta look that back. So like the choreography, the composers of this show. It's really consistent to like everything going backwards.
Like where they were like flipping the shield and flipping over the shield and
doing all those flips and shit. And even when they were trying to pull off his arm and broke his arm, I saw that. I was like, when Thanos was his gauntlet almost got pulled off by Tony and Spider-Man in Infinity War. So that looked really similar. Right, like when they were trying to grab it together, and then like his scream, like, oh, ow.
Yeah, right. Like to break a super soldier's arm, you know, that's saying something there. But you know, they go to blows, and it gets to the point where like where John Walker even like, you know, roughed up Bucky to the point where his arm was like twitching out, and then it was just kind of like left to Sam for a second to get him, and then John Walker jumps all over his ass to the point where he rips his wings off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we get that climax of the fight where he's about to basically end Sam the same way. So it's like, once again, like, okay, you've done this thing, right? Okay, it was the heat of the moment and you took him out. But now faced with the same situation again that we've seen Cap in the same situation with Iron Man, where it's like heat of the battle, you're really going through it. again, he's about to choose violence. You know what I mean? He's like waking up. He woke up that day and he chose violence throughout. You know what I mean? Like all day long, I'm choosing violence. Yeah. And he goes to hit him with the shield again. You know what I'm saying? And until the point where Bucky has to like basically knock him off the joint. Like that, like his rage is kind of like unparalleled. And once again, he's just showing that his rage is overshadowing his decision making. And I don't know when he used to make good decisions, but he's not making them here.
Yo, can we talk about his privilege? Like, you made me do this.
Oh, like, why are you making me do this?
It just reeks of just, again, like this parallels, man. White man privilege. You know, I think it was so well done. And with every move in the fight was just brilliant.
It's like you know, the way the how they're making you do this is by trying to make you accept responsibility and take accountability for your actions. You know what I'm saying? He's like, why are you making me take accountability for my actions? Why are you making me have to kill you instead of take accountability for my actions? It's just, I don't know. It's just, that was a wild scene. But all the dialogue throughout it, you know, even that part, it's just like, it's like these parallels that I feel like we see in society that now it's like, it's on a grand scale. A lot of people are seeing this. A lot of people are, you know, going to have thoughts about it. I don't know. It's hitting me. It's like really hitting me. Like everything he's saying, I'm like, yep. I know I've seen that type of attitude. You know what I mean? Where I'm not taking accountability. You're making me kill you. You know.
Mm-hmm. And then I like how when the fight was over, and Bucky had that shield for that split second, I thought Bucky was gonna take on the mantle of Captain America, but then he just threw it. He just dropped it in front of Sam.
Yo, I love
that. And the way Sam like took care of that shield, he knows what it means. He knows the legacy of it, and he was trying to wipe away the blood. And then it cuts to like the title. I was like, oh shit, we didn't even get to the title card yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
It was kind of surreal.
Title card, man, and I mean. I love, like Sebastian saying in that moment, I love that little bit of acting too, where he threw the shield. He's just like, fucking here, take it, bro. Like, this is you. Like, see what we had to do? We had to rough this dude up, break his arm, there's blood on the shield. Now, can you just take the fucking shield like Steve wanted you to? And I thought all around, like the whole opening sequence was mad powerful. And I know people are like, oh, we want action, and you get a cool action scene. But all the subtext of the action I thought was like, amazing. You know what I mean?
He had a hidden dude with another dude.
Right? I
mean, I saw that there's a meme that went out. Like, I was like, oh shit, yeah, they sure enough did that in this.
He had a dude with another dude. But yeah, man. And also, I mean, I love also seeing how adept Falcon is at using those wings and using his thrusters to like, you know what I mean? To what you call it. So you know, I'm just over the moon with this entire episode, and like we're 25 minutes into the review, 20 something minutes into the review, and we're talking about the opening scene.
I know, right?
How good this was, man.
That shit it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. You know, straight from where we left off. Are we gonna see what happened exactly after he murked somebody to run away like a bitch? Okay, all right. So you're gonna give it to us. What happened exactly after? We're not back in the States. You know, if they could have, you know, had him, you know, cut from there. He's in the States standing the trial. No, we get to see what happened right directly after that, and then this, you know, that just amazing fight. It was just brilliantly done, man. Absolutely loved it. Well done, man.
And then so he breaks him down or whatever, and then we get to see, like, after that breakdown, we get to see Torres come back in after, you know, so we have this fight breakdown, they taking the shield or whatever, and then we see Torres come back, and I thought it was kind of interesting, their interplay, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like there's like a slight connection with Torres. He just seems like a cool dude, you know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah.
What's up with this dude? And it was just kind of cool to like see his talking with Sam, kind of about how everything had gone down and getting his next lead on, or trying to figure out what his next move is going to be on trying to figure out Carly. And we get to figure out what's happening with John Walker. But the coolest part for me of that scene is Sam walking out with the shield and then not walking out with his wings and leaving them with Torres. Like, you could keep them, which is dope because as we know from the comics, Torres he takes up the Falcon wing. So once again, Marvel is like, they're giving us, it's like a character that's kind of like nobody, and then he has the opportunity to come back and kind of be a bigger part in another series or whatever. I don't know what y'all think about Torres gaining his wings.
We just saw a hero get born right there. That was the passing of the wings to make him the new Falcon. I loved it. It was a smile from ear to ear. Like, it was brilliant. It was a great setup.
Yeah.
I think the representation too, we talk about representation a lot, and they didn't just typecast him as like, you know, whatever ethnicity he is, Torres. Like, he's not gonna make these like outlandish same Latino jokes. He's like an important character to this, and he's the new Sam to Sam's, like when he was a Captain America.
Right.
That's that moment. Like, I got this homie that I can dialogue with and build that relationship. So whatever, like, Marvel still finds those ways to build shit that you want to look forward to later on. Like, these are not just one-off characters. So I thought that was really cool. Passing of the torch, passing of the wings. Fix it though.
Everybody's getting hand-me-downs, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to be in the Marvel universe to see which joint I'm going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I get a hand-me-down? But it's just dope because they don't have any throwaway characters. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot of characters that mean something. And, you know, as much as some people are like, oh, I didn't like XYZ, it's like everybody has their place in the Marvel universe, you know what I'm saying? And then different characters come back around. And I think they do a great job of using all the elements of storytelling, including the characters, to their full potential, man. So I'm excited to see like what he does with those wings. You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen there? What's going to happen? So that was a dope scene. And then after that, I think we get into Carly, right? She ends up talking about what does she end up? Is she the next scene? Was she the next one that we talking about there?
So the Carly scene is like a very brief one. She goes back to like the same camp, the refugee camp of like the Mama Donya, and they go back and they see that it's been like evacuated, or they accuse them of harboring terrorists or criminals. And she's like, fuck it. All right. I'm fucking sick and tired of trying to be a part of this world. It's time to move. It's time to begin this movement. So like that short scene of like going back to like our point last week, she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing, but now she's like, there's no turning back. I'm going to start this revolution. And later on in the episode, it's happening.
But I think also cool, the interesting thing is seeing like when you witness, you know, someone being murked like that, you know, it's just like she feels like vindicated, like, okay, now we're taking it up a level, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, even though she doesn't know what she's doing, it's like, I know I got to escalate this shit. And even Zemo says that like later in the episode. But I apologize, I almost jumped ahead. I think the next scene is where John Walker gets court-martialed and he's walking in for his court-martial. So you see him with his arm all, you know, bruised up or bloody, and he goes to stand between the court where they start telling him like, yo, you were reckless and all this other stuff. And I thought it was real interesting where he's like, I did everything you told me to do. Like, all I did was everything you told me to do. Like, how could I be in trouble? Like, because I did everything you told me to do. And I feel like, you know, a lot of our service members probably feel the same way in terms of like,
nah, but he's dripping with privilege. There's one thing, it's interpretations, you know.
But wait, you don't think
who your person is.
Like soldiers will get like basically I'm just thinking of different instances like you know, they have the situation in Iraq with the prisoners or whatever when they weren't supposed to do that, but there was a whole hierarchy that we found out later through documentaries and everything that was like they were rocking with it. It was like, nah, do this. And it's like you're kind of getting orders, but those orders are conflicting with what is right, and you're trying to make up for it in your head or whatever. I just thought it was an interesting way to play that, and it has some parallels to what we experience in life. I don't. Would you agree? Because Kuya, you were telling me no.
No, I feel you on that, man. It's It's hard, just like it is with later on in the episode when we have the conversation with Isaiah and Sam. You know, it's
look, I got so much to say on that. Once we get to that point,
it's hard because it's so real too. You know what I'm saying? Doing right and wrong and having your own. What's your dividing line between right and wrong and following rules, following orders? It's hitting. It's a complicated situation, and trying to choose the best path and make the right decision at those moments is always difficult. But what I loved about that scene is just like we are creating a monster villain right now with Wyatt Russell is acting his fucking ass off. And I just have to just bump this in here real quick because I'm sure you guys have seen it. The dude's getting death threats, man. Like he's playing the hell out of this character, man. He's a fucking actor. He's a brilliant actor. I hope he gets more work after this because I want to see him do more shit. He's fantastic and he's working his ass off. He has to be the bad guy.
He's embodied it. Like he's made us feel, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that's the one thing you want to do as an actor is make somebody feel like he's doing exactly what the character is doing. There's way too many idiots out there. If they're this, like I can't distinguish that this person is an actor playing a character. Versus,
you know,
like, do you really think fucking Anthony Mackie is flying around with like wings and shit? Like, yo, you're so skilled. You know, like it's come on,
Papa Doc.
Yeah, right. Shit. Do you think fucking Mark Ruffalo actually turns green and fucking get out of here? Stop being stupid.
So all y'all dumbasses that are thinking that shit, if you're watching this, man, don't watch our shit no more. I don't give a fuck. I'll say it now, man. If you're just giving it just because you want to hear people, man, fuck y'all.
I will say watch it so we can enlighten your dumbasses. Like that, like we're trying to help you out. No, they're not real characters. They're portraying it and telling a good story about real issues. So he's acting his ass off. The one thing I will say though is when he was in there, I was thinking that he was going to slam his hand on the podium and like break the podium. Like I thought that would have
been dope.
I was like, ooh, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that so bad, like boom. But I feel like at that point, if he would have done that, because I don't think that that whole council knows that he's taking the super soldier serum. Like they don't know, like other people may have known, but like, you know, they don't know that he is taking it yet. Cause I think it would have been a totally different like outcome had they known that he actually has a little bit of super soldier juice in his veins.
I also want to say,
go ahead, Creepy.
I just wanted to say, I'm mad at that Shorty's still with him. Like you just saw that your man killed this dude, you know, overseas.
Ride or die.
You still rocking with dude. You still rocking with dude. So like, I liked you at first, but now you still rocking with your boy. Like, nah, you should have left his ass.
You know what I like? I like because if you think about it, like Lamar still stuck with him, his wife still stuck. So that's I mean, these characters that are around him give you like the inkling that there's some like he had redeeming qualities before all this happened. And I really like to go back to the very first episode where it's like, yo, I just want to be the best for everybody. I want to hold it down for his boy Lamar. I want to hold it down for my wife. I want to make sure America's happy. All that pressure cooks into this person becoming a monster. And I think that's so great. And I feel like the same way that, you know, we don't like him for what he's done or whatever. And we want to have compassion for people. Like if you take away your compassion for someone, then you also create, the monster to some degree. But you know, there's, you know, that's just me. I'm super like, oh, forgiving. But people are like, nah, man, fuck that guy. You see what he did? Which I agree. I mean, to some degree, you can't always be fucking, you know, kumbaya and shit.
Yeah, I've thought about that since I just made that statement. He does need to, for the moment later on that we get when he goes to talk to Lamar's parents, she's the one that sends him off to do that. So she was needed to, I guess, kind of, you know, help him create a new path for himself.
Yeah.
Although he has alternative plans that we do see later, but she was the one that says, you know, if you want to correct what you did wrong, you need to go, you know, pay homage to, you know, Lamar's fam.
Mike, what were you about to say, Mike?
I was about to say, like, her face when they said, like, you don't get no benefits, you get no financial. Her face fucking dropped. I was like, damn, like that moment of like, I don't know how long they've been together, a decade. Like, you know, when you think you're gonna be with somebody who's gonna be super famous and like you're an NBA player, like, but their career gets cut, like damn, she was like, all this investment.
Bro. I can't
mad.
go to the commissary no more,
yo. For real. Yo, Mike, that was straight up. Yeah, that was a classic moment. Like, yeah. Oh, bro. Yeah, good one. Good one.
She was so upset about the PX. She was like, yo, I can't go back to the PX. Like, what? You messed up oh man.
Like, now I got this cat. I'm gonna have to take care of everything now because he ain't gonna get no job. Everybody saw what he did, so I'm gonna have to take care of this motherfucker. She felt the weight of his transgressions now fall on her that she's gonna be the main moneymaker now.
You know what's interesting though? It's like so many times in our society we see like, you know, a cop do something and then there's no repercussions. You know, they get retired with benefits or whatever. And as much as it hurts to see, I feel like if we would have seen that, you know, that would have been like another kind of kick to the gut, but it would have also been like a real kick to the gut because that's what happens. It's like, you know, they go out here, they kill somebody. And it's like they don't get fired with no benefits. You know what I'm saying? They get retired honorably with benefits or, you know, get to go off and do something else. So it was kind of interesting to see him actually face somewhat of justice. But I mean, he still gets to walk free. You know what I mean? They let him like walk out of the thing.
My privilege.
Even after he like murders somebody. So but that's hilarious.
that next scene was like, leading up to this episode or this series, there was supposedly going to be a big cameo, and like the introduction of Contessa Valentina or Val. I don't know much about her, so I want to ask y'all thoughts, like hearing about being Madam Hydra, like how big this cameo is in the comic book realm.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because when I saw her come up, and I'll let Kuya P answer a little bit more because he probably has more knowledge. But when I saw her walk up, it's like, okay, this is about to be the reveal because they said there was going to be a cameo that was big, a named actress, and in the Marvel universe, but we haven't seen yet. And then it was her, and then like they pulled up her. I'm like, oh shit! For some reason, I thought that I had seen her in Jessica Jones, but she wasn't. Apparently, she was supposed to be in Black Widow, which is supposed to already be out. So this is kind of the first we're seeing her, even though we were supposed to see her in Black Widow before Falcon and Winter Soldier came out. But yeah, we learned that she's Madam Hydra. Kuya P, did you see her? Was she in the comic books a lot?
Yes, Madam Hydra, man, one of the key characters. Yeah. So I love that we're getting that Hydra is still around. And she was like, character goes back to 1967, bro. Back in Strange Tales with, you know, Nick Fury going against them. Just and brilliant. Louise, what's her name? Jessica Dreyfus. Name is
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So yeah, they chose an amazing actor. But yeah, I thought that was just so brilliant that we're now just showing these connections and the familiarity that we already know of Hydra and her coming in. Amazing. And the fact that that people are questioning, we got the name, but if you're not familiar, if you look her up, she is Hydra and is known as Madam Hydra. So she's like, you know, a large figurehead. I don't know too much other than just remember seeing her in different appearances within the comic books. But she is an important character, and to get somebody as big, it shows that they're going to put some work in. This ain't gonna be the last time you see Julia Louis-Dreyfus. We're gonna see her coming through because she's a superstar.
Yeah, so it'll be super interesting. Once again, Marvel has enveloped another amazing actor into the cinematic universe, and now she's the woman with 60 names. I think is another one of her superhero aliases. So that would be interesting. And like I love her acting too. It's like she had a focus, which is John, but then you know it like you get to see her like how she like kind of ignored her wife, but I think it said a lot for her to ignore the wife, but then to acknowledge that she still realizes you know what I mean? The wife. It's like I have a focus, but I know I still am aware of everything.
Yeah, that was a cool slide nod back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought like, excuse me.
Yeah, right. His wife was just like, huh, and then she just like slid in. I thought it was dope. I thought she was she came in, she gave some information, and I'm kind of excited to see what she does. The thing that we found out is she knows that he took the super soldier serum. It's like how would she know that? But she does know that. So I think we're going to find out a lot more about her character in the coming days, and I'm kind of excited to.
It means Hydra's still around, you know, because we haven't had any Hydra talk. Or did we? I'm sorry. I take that back. We did have Hydra. They basically quote unquote kill Hydra after not Civil War, but in Winter Soldier was like the last conversation where Hydra was around, and then maybe a little bit in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that was kind of to the side. It wasn't part of like the MCU, or at least with the rest of the superheroes. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like this with her introduction, it shows that Hydra is still slithering, if you will. You know, right. They came out from under the rocks and they're still around. But and still in Winter Soldier, that's when they took over all the satellites and all the right, shield ships and shit. Yeah. That was supposed to be the supposed downfall, but they're still around.
Yeah, apparently. So they're still around. And we're gonna figure out what's going on with that sometime in the near future. Who knows? I'm excited to see what she does with the character, because I feel like she brings it. I loved her in Veep, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So and like I said, her presence in this first scene is very much like, I know what the fuck is going on. I don't care. Like, I'm in here to get what I need to get, and but like I'm still in control of everything, even to the point of when she passed her the card without even looking at her. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, who are you? And she just like handed her a card, like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought, I don't know. There
wasn't even anything on that card too. She was like, just pick up the phone when I call. I'm like, yeah, how the fuck?
Yeah, but did he get a call before that we didn't see off camera, or she just said because she said you made two great choices, taking the serum and then picking up the phone when I called. Like, I was like, oh, okay, so she must have called before. I don't remember seeing a phone call. Do you guys remember seeing a phone call?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Yeah, so she's there. That's interesting. So we're gonna find out what's going on with that. And then we're now moving into the next scene where we got that little piece where Zemo was talking about, like, did y'all even, visit the Sokovia, buried, like the Sokovia Memorial? Like, y'all haven't even been back to the thing. He's like, figures, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even give a fuck. Y'all dropped a whole city on a place, or dropped the whole city, and y'all don't even care about the memorial or anything, right? So we get to see Zemo. He's paying his respects at the memorial, and Bucky like pulls up on him. And Zemo does what he does. Like, he's like, yo, like, he's like, go ahead and kill me. Like, that's what you do, right? Go ahead and off me. And then Bucky shows, like, I'm not the person that I used to be, and he like drops the bullet on him. What'd y'all think of Zemo's interaction with Bucky there at that memorial? Mike, what did you think about that?
I wish they didn't show the bullets in the trailer like last year.
Gotcha.
The emptying of the bullets, because they would have hit me more. But like, my girlfriend watching it, she didn't know what was going on. She was like, "Oh shit, he gonna kill Zemo." But leading up to that, just shows the growth of like Bucky, not Winter Soldier anymore. Like, he was like, "Yo, it's absolute. Like, you gotta kill me. You gotta kill Carly." But Bucky's like, "Nah, I don't have to. I got the Dora Milaje right here. They just parked right now."
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, I know you happy about that.
Oh man, look, I told you what y'all were like, what do you want to see? And I'm like, thank you. That's what I wanted to see. That's justice. They came and got him. He made the call, you know what I'm saying? And like, basically, he didn't fuck up, like, he didn't fuck up their relationship. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, like, I told y'all what I was gonna do. I'm gonna hand them off. I thought it was dope. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I noticed when they were talking, if you notice while they're talking, there's like little dust particles like flying past them or whatever, because that's like the what you call it, the ship, that the Black Panther, the ship or whatever that they had. That was the ship coming in, and I was like, okay, the Dora Milaje are here. Like, I saw, like, I don't know, watch the scene again. You'll see like little dust kind of like start flying past them a little bit. It's just real subtle, but you see it. But I thought that was really dope that he brought them in to take Zemo away. I thought that was super cool. P, what were your thoughts?
I thought that was dope, man. The stare down with the gun and Bucky, man. I actually got even more respect for Zemo, man. Like, he goes hard. He's committed to a certain ideal. We know what his motivations from earlier. I think the actor is brilliant, and I can't wait to see more. And with now him, getting locked back up again and the Dora Milaje, so we get that payoff. We get to see, like you were saying, Bucky, what you wanted to see. We get to him get his amends back with the Dora now that that Zemo's back under their control. But now, like, I want more of that Zemo story. So I don't think we're gonna get, anything more with Zemo. I thought he was gonna be like a big bad villain that we were gonna face, with all the lead up and everything. But we now know more so that John Walker is actually the big asshole that we were dealing with, and Power Broker. So I'm excited for when we'll get that eventual Zemo storyline. So because he didn't go back to Wakanda, they're taking him, the Dora taking him to the Raft, which is a shield, imprisonment station for supervillains. So we'll definitely, there'll be something that's going to happen that he'll be cut loose again. But I just love how they grew that character even more. And that scene was brilliant. And just Bucky's learning from that. Everything you both said, man. Well done scene. Like, they're killing it. Like, this, I can't talk negative. Like, this ain't a DC film.
I like how Bucky told Ayo, she told him, like, hey, don't come to Wakanda. You're not welcome right now.
Like, yo, chill for a minute.
They did that?
Yeah.
But I didn't hear that.
I thought it was dope how she was like, make yourself scarce in Wakanda for now. Where like it's almost like you're still welcome there, but you got to chill for a minute because people ain't really fucking with you right now. Like, you got to lay low. Like, don't come around for a minute. So I thought it was cool because it was like, it shows the relationship that Bucky has in Wakanda. It's like, listen, we don't really fuck with outsiders, and for right now, you can't come through. But what I'm saying, you could probably come through. Give it like a year, give it some time. But I just thought that was kind of dope, man. I love Bucky and Zemo's conversation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Where Bucky's talking about how he's changed or whatever. I like when the Dora Milaje came through and he's like, ladies. And it just shows the amount of respect, even as a villain, he has for them versus like John Walker, where he was mad disrespectful and then got his ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was kind of dope. And then they took him away. I'm dying to get more of Bucky and Ayo's like relationship. I'm like, man, there's something there.
Are you shipping them? Are you shipping them, Glenn?
I think so. Because remember when they were fighting and she took his arm off and then she was just like, damn you, James. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you make me do that? Like, I'm like, yo, there's something there. Like
I feel, I feel you on that ship, but we're about to get to another shipping of a Bucky relationship in a bit, though.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Bucky
and I think I like that one more because I think that'll be interesting if that ship.
Right? Yeah. That should be a poll.
Like, the fights between
them, Mike, that should be a poll.
We should put that out as a poll for sure. Like, which one? But it's just like Bucky, he got frozen for a bunch of years and he came back with jungle fever. He's like, yo, there's so many sisters here now.
Yes.
Oh, yo, there needs to be a meme about how Bucky is definitely down with the brown.
Yeah, well, women of color, because remember he had the Asian girl at the beginning.
Yeah, remember? Bucky.
So we had
Bucky's about it.
Bucky likes POCs, bro.
Yeah, Bucky's like, nah, I ain't rocking with it. Oh man, he likes a little flavor.
Yes, he do.
But so that was cool. And then the end of the scene ends with him being like, yo, can I get one more favor from you? And then we don't figure out what it is until a little bit later in the episode. But I was pretty certain when it happened. I knew exactly what he was going to be asking. I knew he was going to be asking for wings for Sam. It's like it wasn't a surprise to me. It's like everybody knows. Like, okay, he wants Sam to get some new wings. Yo, but I mean, my thought is like, yo, vibranium wings. Like that means they're probably going to hook him up with the whole suit. You know what I mean? Like hook him up with the nanotech vibranium wings. Have him like out here getting it. And I'm excited to, like, again, you can hear in my voice how I get hyped up for this. I'm just thinking, yo, I hope Wakanda lace him, especially because he's a black man. It's like, yo, let me lace this dude. Yo.
I want to know what the joint looked like so bad, but we'll get that. But it's got to be.
You know
nice,
what I was hoping that it would be like no color, and then Sam has to literally like pick a color. You know what I mean? Because it is like a choice now of like what he wants to represent. So if they made it like, hey, it's bland, and you get to pick the color, I think that would be dope. But yeah, so we see that, and then the next thing we're seeing is Sam go back, and he's going to talk to Isaiah Bradley, man, which was super interesting conversation. I love this conversation,
man. This was deep. It's like every time Sam says something, Isaiah has something like to say, and it's like when Sam came in, he was like, "Oh, don't give me that bitter old man shit," and he was like, "You've been through what I've been through. You'll be better too." I was like, "Oh, this cuts so deep, and
it's so true too, man." It's just like, yeah. But before we get into it, there was one lighthearted moment because I know like Isaiah Bradley, his grandson, is it?
Yeah.
What's his grandson's name? Is Patriot or something? Or
he becomes the Patriot.
Or he becomes the Patriot. Yeah, I was looking, and he was like shooting basketball, and after he tells Sam like, he shot an air ball, and I was like, this thing ain't no superhero, yo. What the fuck was that?
I saw that detail.
I was like, yo, y'all should have did a retake right there. Y'all should, because if he's out here shooting air balls, son, with nobody on defense, yo, you can't be it.
He straight up said like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be in the backyard," and then he shot it, and he faded too.
He had a fadeaway air ball, bro.
Yo, I missed that. I that's another thing I gotta watch for again. That's hilarious.
Yo, go rewind it. I was like, did he just shoot an air ball? Yo, you can't join the Avengers if you shooting air balls, son.
Oh, fucking
let's go.
I thought I was the only one who noticed that.
Mike, I'm so glad you noticed it because I was like, he just Oh man. But anyways, airball aside, he like that's another one. Like we got Torres getting the mantle passed down, and then we're speculating whether he's gonna be something. You know what would have been dope? And if I was a director, I would have did. Like, I think it would have been a little bit of foreshadowing if they're playing outside and then he goes up for like a crazy ass dunk. You know what I'm saying? And we're just like, what the fuck? Like, did he just dunk like fucking LeBron? Like, I think that would have been dope versus seeing him shoot that air ball. Because now, like, no matter what movie we see him again, I'm gonna be like, this nigga, he's an air ball shooter, though. He's an air ball shooter. All right. So that was funny. That was a quick little thing. But then we get to this conversation, and I'll just tell y'all, as a black man, this conversation was everything. You know what I'm saying? Like your elders and everything they've been through, and then seeing Sam with his optimism, and like he said, like only my superpower is thinking that we can do better, and him still having that optimism, but being met with somebody like, yo, I had your optimism. I used to be like you, and this is what they did to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought that was great, even to the point where he's like, yo, don't even take that shield out of the fucking. Don't even take it out of the package, yo. Don't even take it out of the bag, man. Kuya P, how are you feeling with that scene and kind of just the interaction between Falcon and the original Captain, first Black Captain?
Icing on top of icing for this fucking episode, bro. And I love that we finally got it and that they called it truth. Because again, this goes back like when we first introduced Isaiah Bradley. I was blown away that we're getting this because it's a story that even Marvel from the comics, they don't really try to talk on too much anymore. And it just shows you the bravery, because when Joe Quesada, the editor-in-chief at the time at Marvel, wanted to do this story and brought on Kyle Baker, who was the artist and writer, to tell this story, this untold piece of Captain America history, and actually make it part of canon, because they didn't want to make it canon at one point, but they made it canon, and then they kind of glossed away over the years and forgot about that title. The fact that the writers over at MCU, as they're creating this, and Kevin Feige was like, okay, nah, that was brilliant, because it makes perfect common sense that if you're creating a super soldier, a white super soldier, you know, that you're going to use us POCs because it's history. We've been their puppets for a long fucking time to use it on us before you then give it to. you know. So
been the guinea pigs, like
exactly
guinea pigs.
And so yeah, like you said, and so they introduce Isaiah Bradley, but not many people know about the real tale. So we finally get that payoff in this episode, and so it was, like you said, man, brilliantly done, and for Isaiah to tell Falcon, because he didn't know, and of what all went down, of the serum before it made its way to Steve. And yeah, like you said, I don't is that what I think it is? Don't even take it out the bag, bro. Like I'm not, nah. And then the classics. There was a line that Isaiah ended with that, why wouldn't a black man, ever want to be Captain America? I'm fucking it up right now.
Like they would never let you be Captain America, and even if they did, what self-respecting black man would
exactly.
And that joint
God.
hit, man. That joint
hit hard, bro.
Yes. And again, like you said, like I keep thinking, like, are they going to do it? Because these are stories that we tell, you know what I'm saying, in my community that I can feel, and that that we'll talk about. But now the world is kind of like seeing how we feel in the eyes, like how conflicted we would be about that, because it's like y'all don't even want us here, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be it, you know what I mean? But we still have those kind of idealistic, those idealistic ideas of like, nah, like, this was made for us. Like, if we don't take up the mantle, it won't be better. You know what I'm saying? And you get to see that in Sam, man. And I just shout out Carl Lumbly for his portrayal.
Yes.
Like, you could, like, the shots that they had of his face, you could see like the pain and the hurt in his face, even like the eyes just glazed a little bit. Like they just did this to the 9s, Joe. They just did this to the 10s, to the 11s. I could keep counting numbers, but they did it, bro. And I just really rock with it, like real hardcore, man.
An amazing moment.
I like how like not only the legacy of the Shield, but the legacy of like Black Americans. He said they've been erasing our history for 500 years.
Right.
That's a trip. You don't see that in the history books, like the books that you get in the regular school. Like, you have to look at documentaries. You got to look back in this and that. The fact that like things are erased, and it's like trying to combat Sam's optimism. And he even, like, to add more emotions to it, he talks about how he was in jail for so many years. Yeah. And they told his wife that he was dead. So it kind of mirrors like Nelson Mandela when he was in prison for like 26 years, locked away. And Winnie Mandela was holding it down for him. And like, you see that he has a grandson now. So it's just, and then the letters that never got delivered to him while he was incarcerated. Like, there's so many fucking emotions in this. I was like,
yeah, think about this part of it. So in the Captain America movie, the first Avenger, his boys are behind enemy lines, captured. And he's like, fuck that. So he goes off, breaks out of the camp, sneaks out, and goes and rescues them, brings them back. This Captain America does the same thing, and they throw him in jail. And that's just like the parallel. It's like, no, you're not hailed as a hero for getting back your soldiers, for going on a mission, even though you broke the rules. He did the exact same thing, breaks the people out, and everybody like salutes him, like, oh, congratulations, you brought him back, high fives or whatever. You're Captain America. Yeah, like they put him front and center. This Isaiah Bradley goes and does the same thing, and he's locked up. And that's just, it's once again, it's like a parallel to what we see kind of, in our society. For same thing is not hailed when we do it. You know what I mean? We're always given that look of like, oh, you did something wrong or whatever. I don't know, man. It was just like that.
So, yo, before we move from this scene, though, I want to encourage everybody watching this, and both y'all as well. I told it to y'all last episode. Well, I think when we introduced Isaiah Bradley, when they introduced Isaiah Bradley in the series, go out and pick up, whether it be digital, because I don't think you can find it in paperback form. I think it's pretty much sold out all over the place. But Truth, Red, White, and Black from Marvel Comics, written and illustrated by Kyle Baker. It's like a 4-issue series, so it's a real quick read as well, man. It'll take you 20 minutes to read all 4 issues, man. Good shit. What I'm forgetting the actor's name, Carl Lumbly.
Carl Lumbly, yeah. Carl Lumbly.
What he tells his story brilliantly to Sam, but it's somewhat of a glossed over version, and it's a different version than the comic book, but it's very much there. But it's just amazing. And if you really want to see the grit, like some of the cats that got the serum died instantly. Some got deformed. Some that did survive were put into these little teams that they got sent over during the World War, and then were slaughtered. And so they just kept on mass, injecting these black men to try and perform. And then if they get killed, they get killed. And then so they took the shell of that story. But just I would say check it out, man, if you want to see more of the truth. And that's why, it was, so, again, they gave it that nod by titling this episode Truth. Truth, Red, White, and Black. Shout out to my man, Kyle Baker, who's an amazing Black artist, writer, creator of long time in the comic book industry. And they brought him on to do that because he's worked in and out with Marvel, but is also known for his independent stuff, but an amazing creator himself as well. And he has a lot of biographical comic book work as well. Just one of the most amazing artists you'll ever find that speaks truth. And I'll leave it there because that ends perfectly. Speaks the truth.
Yeah, speaks the truth, man. This is just the last thing I'll say on it. Like when hearing the fact that they've been erasing our history for 500 years, it's dope because I like y'all, you know what I mean? Like y'all can look back to a culture, you know what I'm saying, that you have, but the history of like Black America is like it's pretty much a race. Like we can't go back to like what the traditions are of our ancestors. Like our history starts when this country starts, basically, because all of that has been erased. All the families have been torn apart. There isn't like an oral history of like where we come from, and that is a very hard thing that is traumatizing. You wouldn't even think that it's traumatizing, but not being able to trace back your lineage and all you have is like the rubble that you have in front of you, you know what I mean, to build from. And that's why, I don't know, man, I'm just going to shout, Black people are lit, yo. We are fucking lit, yo, to be able to come up with a culture that has permeated the world after having everything stripped, and now the culture that we created after being wiped away is like some of the most lit shit that just goes all over. Like hip hop is all over the world right now, and you know what I'm saying, it's like the number one entertainment like kind of motif out there, like hip hop culture. We're lit, bro. Give us our flowers, bro. Like
get them flowers, bro, all day, every day, bro. All day, every day.
I love my agent. I'm just going to big up Black people for a minute.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
24/7, bro.
But yeah, it's just dope that Marvel is doing this. And every time I'm like, are they going to allow this? Like, are they? Because you don't see it. It'll be whitewashed. It'll be like toned down. And they're like, nah, we're going fully for it. It's like, no, a Black man is becoming Captain America and niggas can't deal with it. It's like, yes. If they drop a M-bomb in here, I'm gonna be like, if they're like, nigga, give me that shield, I'll be like, yeah. That's all I want. That's the only thing I want now. It's just like, yo, just drop one of them in there, because then that'll make it fully real. If Sam is just like, nigga, if you don't give me back my shield. Sorry. Anyway, that was just my tangent. Anyhow,
I feel you.
Back to reality.
fully related. And then it's cool too when you go back to Sam's home place, right. Louisiana. So it's like, I was like, why are we going back? And it's like he's trying to process everything that he just had that conversation with Isaiah, because that's a lot. That's a ton, and it was a good transition into like back home. And trying to figure things out, because it's not just Cap's legacy, it's his family legacy, and that boat that they're trying to fix, it represents their family, but it also represents like kind of like the shield too. So I like how they brought it back home, kept it grounded, and then we see Bucky come back too, and here we go with the Bucky's Jungle Fever moment.
Yeah, right. But I think I don't know, man, it's so like humanizing too, to see him kind of to do that. And look, Bucky's been out, he's been killing a lot of people, but we give him like, we give him a lot of leeway because he's like brainwashed. But it was kind of cool to see him coming out there. And I'll say another thing about this episode was great because we got 2 montages. You know how I love a montage. So we got 2 montages, them fixing the boat and Sam like practicing with the shield. But yeah, Bucky coming back. Oh, but also seeing the community come together to put the boat back together. That was a big part of this.
That was real
episode. Cool, y'all. What did y'all think about the community effort to put all this stuff together?
No, I love that. They try to do it on their own, which says a lot about, we as people. We try to do things on our own. We're afraid to open up and ask for help. And so we saw that, when in the first episode, he tried to just do it on his own. It didn't work. So now, after all of that has transpired since that first moment, to then, what, we're gonna make it work, and to use it, and talking to his sister. Do we still have these contacts? And for that to click there, and then for us to hear the calls, which was a great way of making that story be told after that moment, and hearing just the different conversations. Oh, remember this? Hey, I'm whatchamacallit's boy. Remember that? And we've all, I'm sure, heard these conversations as friends and family, hearing our aunties, uncles do that thing,
Right.
Just completely well done. And just, shows that even heroes need heroes.
Yo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have to have superpowers. He couldn't do it all. He might have thought he was the shit and he can maybe go save the world, but you need as a community. And I think it's such a great and global message that we need to all hear now with everything that's going on, and support each other. It was brilliantly well done.
That's something like the GRC needs to do. That's what Carly's fighting for. The community coming together to pitch in. Let's give our resources, our extra resources, to people that really need it. And that scene, I was like, it didn't hit me till I watched it the second time. I was like, they really just helping each other out. And that's what we needed on a global scale.
Yeah, so, absolutely, man. I love seeing Bucky like get introduced where like they're like, yo, how are you gonna get this big old motor off the truck? And then he just like lifts it off the truck, because you sometimes forget he's got the super soldier serum and he's super strong too. So that was cool. I feel like that was the point where Sarah was like, "Oh, he's strong." Hey James, how you doing? Oh man, that was great. But then you get that little, like, we get that little buddy cop thing where it's like, yo, don't flirt with my sister. Like, I thought that was kind of cool too. And then you get to see them like interacting. You get to find out that Winter Soldier is actually right-handed, which I thought was really. He's like, yo, why don't you just use the arm? He's like, I don't even think about it sometimes because I'm right-handed. I was like, yo, that's such a small little piece of character building that's really, really kind of interesting and fun to play around with.
I caught that too, and my wife was like, "What?" And I was like, "Let's play it back." And she was like, yeah, exactly."
Right.
Good. Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah. It's like, yeah. I don't even think about it because I'm right-handed. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. It's like he's got this super powerful hand. It's like, but that's not like, I don't even go for that first. That's like an afterthought. You know what I mean? I thought that was mad interesting. I don't know, man. What y'all think? Y'all think AO or Sarah? Which one?
Who are we shipping? Yeah. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Like, I want you to see, maybe there was some shit going down with AO before and White Wolf and all that. So, but then because I like this thing with Falcon, and you know what, I'm gonna go with AO because I don't want him to. I like Falcon and Bucky getting together. I don't want to see him give smoke because you fucked my sister over. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you date your friend's sibling, you have to marry them or the friendship is probably over.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way around it. But so that was a dope scene. We get to see them like rebuild the ship or whatever. And then we get the other montage that I really like, which is Sam training with the shield. You know what I'm saying? He goes through his training. And I thought this was really dope because all this time we've been seeing like the shield, like, yo, how's it keep bouncing back? And we get to see Sam not being a super soldier. Like he doesn't put a lot of effort into it, and the joint sails and then bounces back. So you get to see how the properties of the shield, how it floats in the air, and you know what I mean, like even back to when Spider-Man was saying like, yo, that thing does not obey the laws of physics at all, does it? You know what I'm saying? And we get to see like, no, it does. It's like it doesn't. It's like super light. He just gently tosses it and it flings right into the tree and bounces back. And I just thought it was cool, like, they're having that conversation while they're passing the shield back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That was pretty cool. What y'all think of that training montage?
I was like, if like me and Matt, every time we hoop, we don't even hoop. We're just talking, but we're just shooting shots. So I felt like it was like a cool, like casual conversation. Oh, not casual, but like a chill conversation. And then Sam goes to work on Bucky, or they go to work on each other, like counseling him. Like, dude, like you are Bucky. You don't have to keep going. What would Cap do? What would Jesus do? What would the Great White Hope do? Like,
Right.
you can think for yourself. You don't have to. The way you amending with people is to make yourself feel better. But are you making them feel better? And the previous scene too was like Walker lying to Lamar's family, not giving them that right closure. That dude wasn't the dude that killed Lamar.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, like we're probably gonna see in the next episode Bucky confronting Yori and like apologizing. Like, dude, I killed your son. And so I think it's that counsel is much needed for just being friends.
Yeah, I think it'll be real interesting to see what happens when, you know, Bucky makes amends. I just love that they really, like, again, it's not like lip service. Like, Sam actually was a counselor, and we get to see him use that superpower like maybe, you know, like 3 times or 4 times during this whole series arc. It's like really interesting to see him use something else that was a seed was dropped back in other movies, and get to see that come to the forefront. Cool, y'all, what you think?
Yo, so for me, man, that scene, I love that parallel that you just said, Mike, of just 2 brothers playing ball, you know, but this time with a shield, because I saw myself doing that, like you said, with you and Matt.
Yeah.
I see myself when I was a kid, you know, doing that with my boys and just having that convo. We sometimes we're shooting, but sometimes we're just really, it was about the conversation.
Right.
If I made the shot, cool. If not, you know, it was all good. We're just getting deep. So I love that parallel that you brought up. So yeah, great moment seeing them 2 talk, and then with Sam training up, building his body up and just getting more practice in, seeing him with his nephews holding the shield. I love that, those iconic images, because again, they don't want to see a black man with a shield, and then seeing like his little nephew touching the shield just was amazing. And it just means that we need to see to be optimistic about the future, you know. Like you said, you know, Carl hit him hard, and Carl is a reality, but at the same time, you know, Sam is a different person. He's gonna, you know, do him and be him, and like his sister told to him, you know, Carl's Carl, but you are the change. You're the optimism for the future. And so I love that he's finding his own truth, and staying optimistic, and just we're seeing we saw a villain be made at the beginning of this episode, and now we are seeing a hero who was already a hero before, but become even more of a hero. If you know what I'm saying. Not to say like that Sam wasn't a hero, but he's really stepping into his own. And
but
actually,
it's almost like go ahead.
Like we thought he was going to be Captain America when this all started at the beginning of the season. He wasn't ready to be Cap. That's why he gave up the shield. Now, with everything that's transpired, we're seeing this man become Captain America now.
Yeah, and I feel like it's dope because it's like he's seen what happens if he doesn't take his place as if he doesn't step into the power that is supposed to be his.
Yeah.
Like we'll just call it like it is. Some white man is going to come and take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't step and take what is supposed to be yours, some white man's going to come and take it. So you got to like actually step into the power that should be yours. Steve gave you the shield for a reason.
Yeah.
I just love that the episode's called Truth, because it's like everybody is having to confront their truth. Sam, your truth is you are going to have to take up the shield despite what it means and everything that it means. And I think he has to confront the thing that he said before, was like, my superpower is thinking that we can do better. And it's like, yeah, take up the shield because we can do better, and you can be a better Cap if you step into your power. And Bucky, it's like, yo, confront your truth as well. You know what I'm saying? You were a murderer who was brainwashed, and confront it. And even John Walker, to the point where he doesn't confront his truth, and it has him walking down a dark path again, and he sees that poster that's, you know, Cap is back, John Walker, and he thinks about what he's lost or whatever, and you know, but still not confronting his truth. He's like, nah, I just want to go back to you know, to what I was, man. I don't know. The whole thing was great. Yo, the other thing that was great was like when Sam is practicing with the shield, how it almost takes his head off. I'm just like, you can't fuck around with that shield, bro. You got to be ready for on the bounce back.
Yeah, that was dope.
Oh, I like how when Sam was running too, his nephews called him Uncle Sam. was like, oh, Uncle Sam, like, you know, the whole like and then and Sam's response was like all day. That's his version of like, I could do this all day. So it's like he's really coming into his own. He's doing his whole like Simba Lion King moment, taking the throne, like taking the title, taking the cap.
Yeah, man.
So I'm hyped. I'm like,
dude, I didn't even realize that. That's
I want to appreciate how the story is through a show, because if this was a movie, I would have felt like it was a little bit, it would have been a little rushed. But every week that we're chewing on it, it's like, dude, I can't wait till fucking next week. He's gonna be Cap. He deserves this title.
Yeah, from the moment that Cap handed him the shield, I was like, yo, are they gonna wait? Are they gonna allow him to be Cap? This is America, bro. They're not gonna let a black dude be Captain America for real. There's gonna be some reason that he can't be Cap, or they're gonna be something where he's really. It's like, this is America. They're not letting that happen. And it's just cool to see, nah, we're going for it. We're showing you the process, and not even I felt it would, if they wouldn't have done this, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it would have been earned to just give him the shield. It's almost like we're ignoring all of the established history of the world and just say, okay, we're just going to do this fantasy thing. Now a black guy is Captain America, and not talk about how troubling that is or what that means. And I feel like now it's earned. I feel like now it's very much it's earned. Sam earned it. We've earned it as fans to see it happen. It's been earned in the universe. I don't know. I just think the next episode should be earned. No. No, I'm joking, but yeah, man, all dope. So next scene we get to is Sharon Carter showing a little bit more and more that she's a little bit further and further from being the goody two shoes that we thought she was when she was Cap's bodyguard way back in Captain America: Winter Soldier. But we get to see her doing her thing, and we're like, oh, is she? Maybe she is the power broker, because she's definitely brokering some power right now. And we get to see her set up, do we know that it's Balrog when she takes the call?
Yeah, it said it in the captions.
Okay.
And they were speaking French. She bailed him out.
Yeah.
And he's like, he teams up with Carly, and Carly's like, oh, we got some heat now.
Yeah.
And you see with her partner, the Asian flag smasher, he's like, damn, we're not criminals. And she's like, have you looked at the news? We're fucking criminals.
Yeah, have you looked? Yeah, what do you that's what they're calling us, so fuck it, that's what we are. And I feel like that is what happens a lot of times, is people get pushed and marginalized. And I mean, you see it all the time. I don't know if y'all have boys who are like the teachers always treating them like they're bad, or trying to say you're bad or you're doing wrong, to the point where they're like, well, fuck it, I'm doing wrong. I'm always going to do wrong then. And then they just kind of they just take on the persona that you have pushed them towards by constantly calling them that, you know what I mean? So I just think it's interesting, and almost that dude is kind of the parallel of Battlestar to John Walker, where he's like, yo, we can't be doing this. And she's like, nah, fuck it, we doing this. So, listen to your minority buddies, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's interesting to see. And she does team up with Balrog, which is interesting. He comes through with a bunch of weapons and shit. And we find out that his whole main thing is, I need to kill the Falcon, because he, threw me out a helicopter or some shit. Although I thought he blew up in the helicopter for some reason, but I guess he did jump out with a parachute, right? At the first he escaped. So yeah, he comes back, and again, Marvel not wasting any characters. He comes back around, and he's another villain in this thing. And then we get to see Carly kind of devising her plan of not allowing the GRC vote to take place, because they've been displaced and they don't want that vote to happen. So it's just mad interesting to see that kind of come into play, and Sharon Carter to be part of that. What did you guys think about seeing how all that came together?
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, creepy. Go ahead.
I just go. again, going back to the main storyline, we had that cool buddy thing with Falcon. So now we got to progress the story along, and that there's still this, flag smasher group. So just good stuff, man. I'm just going along for the ride and seeing what's going on. So that has to be our big payoff, because we have one more episode. We Zemo's out of the picture now. We've closed up some of these storylines. Isaiah Bradley, I think, is probably done. We're not going to see him anymore in this, but we have one more episode to go, and so that's what's gonna, we need to lead up to that. So just good storytelling from this point on.
And I think predicting like how the next episode is going to be, it's going to be probably a publicized battle, and Falcon is going to suit up with his Wakanda gear, team up with Bucky, and the world's going to probably see like Sam saved the day. I would love to see it like through Isaiah Bradley's eyes, maybe watching the TV too, seeing like, okay, Sam is that optimism that I might have been missing or lost the last few years. So I think that would be like poetic as fuck. Like,
yeah, I like that.
That would be pretty sick.
And then I'm gonna tell you, as a black dude, he ain't going. Isaiah Bradley ain't gonna give a fuck about that.
Oh, he ain't.
He ain't gonna care. He's like, man. He's like, what? He's gonna turn the TV off after he sees some shit like that.
Yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying. I would love to see that too. You know what I mean? Like, and have the world like accept it. Like, nah, we're here, and like this is the best. This is what's best for the Shield, is for him to have it. I think that would be pretty dope. I don't know if y'all caught this, but during that whole the end scene where we get to see the GRC meeting and they're gonna have this vote. It's funny because Carly is like, that vote ain't gonna happen, but then the head of the GRC, right, who is in there, is like, yeah, we don't even need to vote, we're just gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas people like the democracy is like, yo, no, let's let people have a say or whatever. And then you see like the terrorist organization that Carly is heading is like, nah, this vote ain't going to happen. And then you see the head also, like, it's a parallel between how, like, yeah, they're terrorists too, because they don't want the vote to happen either. They just want to go in and push the people off. So it's like you have these two opposing viewpoints that both basically are trying to say the same thing. Like, we don't want the vote, we just want it our way. I don't know if did y'all peep that, or was that am I reading into it too much?
No, I saw that too. One world, one people. Like, it's y'all both on the wrong side of this.
Yeah, man. So it's like real interesting. We get the foreshadowing, and then Sam like puts two and two together when Torres gives him the call. He's like, yo, these pings have been happening, and the last one was in New York. And then Sam's like, that's it. That's all I need to know. They about to hit the thing. I know what I got to do. And then we see him like lift up the suitcase, and we just get a little glimpse. We don't actually get to see the color and none of that. We just get a little glimpse of it, which I thought was dope. We get a little glimpse of the thing, and then he opens it, and then that's the end of the episode, right? Did I miss anything? Was anything?
Oh, there's a post credit or a mid credit scene.
Oh, that's right. So okay, so he looks at it, he sees the suit. First, predictions for what the suit's going to look like when he pulls it out of there.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I've been thinking the same thing. I don't think I want it to be the costume he does get, which is very similar to Steve Rogers with the red, blue, and red, white, and blue. I want it to be so, especially with it having its Wakandan influence now. I want something to that degree, but I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I think it has to be Captain America-esque, because he is going to be now Captain America, if you will. So I would assume there's going to be red, white, and blue up in there. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of his Captain America costume when he became Captain America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What about you? Were you a fan of it?
I mean, I have it on my sneakers. Like, I have some customs that have that suit on there. So, I mean, I think it's dope because, as much as, we get upset with what has happened in this country and like the past and the legacy, there's still an aspiration for it to be what was promised. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a promise of like freedom and liberty and being able to earn and make and keep and I feel like taking up the mantle and then going further with that, but really speaking the truth about the history of it is something that we need to see. You know what I'm saying? Like there's an idea that this was built on, and we want to see that idea come to fruition. And the only way to do that is to allow a Black man to take up that mantle. That's what I would love to see.
Got you.
So yeah, man, it's super exciting. Predictions for how the suit. Personally, like I said before, I want the suit to not have a color, and then Sam have to choose what he wants that color to be.
And then he makes it red, white, and blue.
Yeah, like I think it should be a choice. Like, Sam could have made the suit any color, but he's like, I'm making a choice. And then I feel like the payoff that I want to see, this joint has been just payoffs for me. I'm getting my montages. I'm getting the Dora Milaje, I'm getting everything I want. Here's the last thing I want to see is I want to see Sam speak to the reasons why he chose to make the suit red, white, and blue, or whatever choice he makes it. And get to hear that. Because we got to hear the fucking phrase that I didn't think, like, they'll never let a Black man be Captain America. Like, hearing that is just like, wow, they're going for it, bro.
Yeah. So good, man.
So, Mike, final thoughts on the suit.
Oh, it's whatever it is. It's gonna be top flight because he's coming from he's gonna be coming from Louisiana to New York in how many hours? So he's probably he's gonna need something to keep his breathing at some point.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
He might invert it. It might be like kind of like the comics where it's a lot of red and then maybe the blue and white.
Oh, okay.
I would like
that. But everybody's waiting on what the suit's going to look like, right? Mm-hmm. Is that
I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I want to see it, bro. I also want to see the tech. Like, is it going to be the Black Panther tech? You know what I'm saying? Because for right now, Sam be out there reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like, his arms are all showing and shit. It's like, yo, you ain't afraid of getting scraped. You ain't like, scrapes hurt. I know you and plus you got to be over 30 now. You can't be like, shit hurts when you fall nowadays. So it would be dope to see him get that suit, because then it would, there would be a little less suspension of disbelief when he's getting hit by all these powerful things and blocking bullets. It'll be like, okay, now he's got some tech that explains that a little bit, Plus, come on, Wakanda,
yo,
my man off.
You just reminded me of something that I've completely forgotten until just this moment while we were all just sitting here talking about the suit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to humble brag, but I worked on the Winter Soldier when they filmed here.
Right.
I was in the scene that introduced Anthony Mackie. I was in the scenes that when they were doing the on the left when they were. Yeah, I worked like 4 or 5 days on that.
Wait, were you one of the people in the therapy, like sitting down?
No. You know what? No, I take that back. I wasn't in the scene in the therapy. When they were when the Jasper Sitwell, because I was supposed to be the double for Jasper Sitwell.
Oh, shut up.
When he was scoping him out by the hotel in Jasper, I forgot the name of the actor. The actor that plays Jasper Sitwell was talking to Gary Shandling when they come out the hotel, and he's watching that situation. I was in that scene, and then the on the left scene, I was over by the Lincoln Memorial when we filmed that.
Oh shit!
Can I go back and see it? Can I pause it?
I'm gonna look it up.
Now you won't see me in any of that, man. Well, you might see me in the hotel scene when he's coming out, because there's a bunch of takes that I'm in when he's sitting down at the cafe as Sitwell and Gary Shandling walk out. But
I'm photoshopping it, bro. I'm just gonna put in that background.
But on during the time on set when we were filming at the, I think it was it's right by the White House when we were filming that particular
Watergate
scene. No, not Watergate. I think it's the W.
Point of view. Yeah, POV.
So, to the right of the White House.
Okay.
Over by, you know what? I'm gonna fuck it up.
I know.
But anyway,
I know what you're talking
about. What's important was is when we were all sitting down, there was only like a crew of 15, background actors, and then Anthony, Gary Shandling, Sitwell. We were all, actually about 30 of us. I take that back. But like 15 of the main people that were like around that were SAG-AFTRA, and I was one of the union actors. When I was sitting, I was over by Kevin, and they were actually showing Anthony pictures of the suits, the proposed suit, and then what his suit would look like in there, it was more military-esque, it was the green with like the brown, it was very military-esque. But then they also had some renditions of some of the classic comic book stuff, and but in their style of how they were going to do it. So I completely forgot about that until just now when we were talking about looks of the suit. So I got to see that stuff during the production.
But it was the red, white, and blue suit, or it was the
no, it wasn't red, white. Well, there was mock-ups. Yeah, there was mock-ups.
What?
They were thinking about it way back then, in different circumstances, but I couldn't talk on it because I signed an NDA. You know.
Oh shit! Did you just get? Are we gonna have to cut this out of the podcast?
No. It's the movie's already out. You know what I'm saying? The movie's
right.
We're like, years past the Winter Soldier. You know.
We don't want to mess it up because shit, you might come back as another Marvel character. It's like, remember this guy in the background? Now he's a superhero too.
But I completely forgot that we were seeing a little bit of that while on the set. It was dope to be on that.
So that means that they've been thinking about this for a while. Which
is minute.
And it's crazy how it has dovetailed with reality and everything that we're going through nowadays. I mean, it's just amazing. And to wrap up the episode, we get the first end credit scene that we've got throughout this whole thing, and it's a doozy, man. We get to see John Walker, and he's hammering out another shield, and we get to see him. He's putting in his Medal of Honor into that shield, man, and he's like forging it, and you get to see him blood, sweat, and tears, and trying to kind of recraft a suit. Which, by the way, I'm like, is it still going to have the same like dynamic? You know, like, is it going to be aerodynamic? It's not going to be vibranium. What's his suit going to be? But it'll be very interesting to see what they do with him coming forward. So you know that he's got one last gust in him in terms of what he's going to do with the shield that he's making. Are you guys excited to see what he comes out with?
Hell yeah.
I'm excited, yeah. I think I like how he put the Medal of Honors on there. I was dying because like my girlfriend was like, dude, is he doing a DIY tutorial right now? Like how to make your own shield? Because that shit doesn't look vibranium at all. It looks like he's gonna cut somebody up.
Right.
He's coming in tensions with like revenge, and I was dying laughing because I thought he was gonna say, I am Captain America. Like again, I'm like,
I keep saying it. I am Captain America. I am Captain America. I am, as he keeps hammering. Like that's that crazy talk.
I wonder if the crazy talk is because he becomes the U.S. agent, which is the corniest name, but then it makes sense, you know, because he's no longer Captain America. But it'll be interesting. I want to know what y'all's predictions are for the finale before we leave out. So we know where Falcon is going to face, you know, Carly and finish that off. We have to have that, you know, big finale. Bucky will be there. I don't know if Isaiah Bradley will be watching, like Glenn said, right. If he's going to turn it off. But will we see U.S. agent? Will we see John try to come to New York to go along with that, or are we done with John? Like, what is y'all's predictions for the finale?
Mike, go ahead.
Oh no, I just want a big ass battle. I want a continuation of that choreography. I'm kind of bummed it's New York again because I'm kind of sick and tired of like all these big Avenger level battles in New York. But I don't know. I just want to know Sharon Carter's role. Like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, how is this power broker? Because let's say it's only an hour left again next week. There's so many things to like tie up loose ends. So I agree. Like the Carly one's going to end. Maybe U.S. agent storyline's going to end. I don't want them to throw in too much. So, Glenn, what do you think?
Dude. I worry that they do have too many loose ends to tie up, and I hope they don't give us lip service. But here's my unpopular opinion. I don't think that him and Bucky fight in the last battle together. I think Bucky's going to be off. I think he's going to be off doing something else, man. I think he's going to have something else, but I do think Isaiah Bradley comes through, and because he's like, yo, don't show me or don't let him know that I'm alive. I think he might come through too. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end and be like, you know, like save Sam or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like have that scene where like, you know, Sam is trying to help fight, and he's just like, you know, he comes through as like the original and wrecks shop a little bit. I I would love it if they did that, man. I would, but maybe right now I'm getting into like Kuya P level, predictions like Mephisto or whatever, but that's what I want to see, man. I want to see Isaiah Bradley come through. Like, I wanted to see him kick ass as like, oh, I still got it. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see that. And I do want to see Bucky kind of interact with the Dora, on the way out, like maybe go visit him or something. Cause because they actually they walk different paths. So, it would be weird for him to walk different paths and then show up again. So I wonder if he's going to go off and go back to, try to talk it out with AO or something. But meanwhile, Sam is left. Like, it makes sense that Sam has to face a super soldier by himself without another super soldier.
One versus one. Yeah, I agree.
And then maybe get some love on the Isaiah Bradley tip, but or like you guys said, like him seeing on TV and they get some closure for him too. That's what I want to see, man. And I want to see the suit be dope. That's the last thing. And I hope that Carly doesn't get killed. I hope she doesn't die. I hope that they're able to like somehow redeem her.
Same. Yeah. Carly's a great character. And yeah, you just want to see, because we all feel why she's feeling the way she feels, and I'm with you on that, bro.
And not listened to. And then she was finally listened to, and it was like, oh, okay. And then to get betrayed, it's like, like to feel like you got betrayed because that dude came busting through the door. It's like, you feel for her too. So, I kind of want to see them do something with that. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on. There's a lot we want to see.
Yeah.
I feel like we held it down on this episode. This has been a really long recap. And I know that the last episode is going to be probably even longer than this because we're going to have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But until that time, we are signing off. Mike, Top Bat Podcast, tell them where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, you can find us on all social media platforms. Matt couldn't be here today, but I'm repping for the crew from the top of the dome to the back of the pack. Follow us on all podcast platforms. But thank you again from Kuya P and Glenn Lawrence for putting us on. Love it out here.
Yeah, dude, we love it. And Kuya P, go ahead and let them know about you, bro.
Kuya P, you can follow me at Strange Since 1977 or at Temple Far East, and of course at the Nerds of Color, where we give you pop culture from a POC perspective, and my show over there, Show Pow Show, where I represent my Filipinos and all the greatness that we do out there in the world.
Yeah. And I am Glenn Lawrence of Level Up Comedy. Just started a new podcast. It's called the Blurred Dad Podcast. So if you want to hear about Black nerd stuff from the father's point of view, I will be doing that. That's on Mondays. It's going to stream live to you. Also got the Black Irish Podcast, My Fantasy Wife Podcast. Those come out weekly. And then you can check us out, Level Up Comedy DC, on your YouTubes and your Twitter and all that good stuff, man. That's me for the NRW. We're saying peace until next week. We cannot wait to see how this all ends because, they've been giving us everything that we wanted so far, man.
Everything.
All right, boys, we are out of here. Thank y'all for listening. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time that we post one of these. Be a fan. Tell us what you think about it. Hit us with some comments below and tell us what you think. What do you want to see in the next episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier? Do you want to see Mephisto?
No. This guy. All right, y'all.
Hey, man, we out. Thanks.
Peace.
Boom.